Hello everyone and welcome to this Euro 2024 Germany special in association with travel partner Official. Now before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the little bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming Euro adventures. We're talking tactics, travel tips, and top 10 lists that'll make your trip unforgettable. So whether you're a die-hard football fanatic or just looking for an excuse to explore gorgeous Germany, buckle up because we're about to kick things off. Right, let's be honest. Who doesn't love a good landmark, eh? And when it comes to landmarks, the Brandenburg Gate is like the George Clooney of Germany. Iconic, handsome, and full of history. Built in the late 1700s, this grand dame has seen it all. Prussian kings, Napoleon strutting his stuff, and even a certain wall dividing the city. Now imagine this. You're strolling through Pariser Platz, the buzz of the city all around you. Street performers are doing their thing, the smell of currywurst is in the air, and there, in all its glory, is the Brandenburg Gate. But here's the kicker. It's draped in the flags of the competing nations. Fans from all over the world are chanting, singing, and generally getting into the spirit of the Euros. It's electric, it's unforgettable, and it's the perfect way to kick off your German adventure. Don't forget to grab a selfie. It'll be a real talking point back home. Okay, enough about cities and crowds. Let's talk about a different shade of green, shall we? And no, I'm not talking about the pitch. I'm talking about the Black Forest, a place so magical they named a cake after it. Think rolling hills, deep, mysterious forests, hence the name, and charming villages straight out of a fairy tale. It's the perfect antidote to all that football frenzy, a chance to reconnect with nature and breathe in some fresh air. Now, you're not just here to look at trees, although they are rather lovely. The Black Forest is an outdoor enthusiast's paradise. Whether you fancy a leisurely hike, a heart-pumping bike ride, or even a spot of fishing in one of the many crystal-clear lakes. And if you're feeling brave, legend has it that somewhere in those woods is a cuckoo clock the size of a house. Now, wouldn't that be a souvenir to tell the grandkids about? Let's be honest, you can't come to Germany for the Euros and not experience a match live and in person, can you? The atmosphere, the tension, the collective roar when your team scores. It's something you just have to experience to truly understand. Imagine this. You're in the stands, surrounded by thousands of passionate fans, all decked out in their team colors. The air is thick with anticipation. The whistle blows and the crowd goes wild. The next 90 minutes are a blur of nail-biting moments, near misses, and hopefully a goal or two, especially if your team's playing. And even if football's not really your thing, the atmosphere alone is worth the price of admission. It's a chance to be a part of something truly special, to witness sporting history in the making. Just don't forget to pace yourself with the beer and pretzels. Now, if you thought the Black Forest was the stuff of fairy tales, wait till you clap your eyes on Neuschwanstein Castle. Perched high on a hilltop in the Bavarian Alps, this castle is like something straight out of a Disney movie. And you know what? It's actually the inspiration for Sleeping Beauty's castle. Built by the eccentric King Ludwig II, Neuschwanstein is a masterpiece of Romanesque revival architecture, all turrets and towers and breathtaking views. Inside, it's even more opulent, with lavishly decorated rooms, intricate murals, and enough gold leaf to make your eyes water. Even if you're not a history buff, you can't help but be swept away by the sheer beauty and grandeur of this place. It's like stepping back in time into a world of kings and queens, knights and dragons. Just try not to get lost in the fairy tale. There's still plenty more of Germany to see. After all that excitement, it's time to slow things down a bit with a leisurely cruise down the Rhine River. Now, this isn't your average river cruise, darling. This is the Rhine we're talking about, a river so romantic, so steeped in history and legend, it's practically a national treasure. As you glide along the water, you'll be treated to a constantly changing panorama of picture postcard views. Think rolling vineyards, medieval castles perched on cliffs, charming villages seemingly untouched by time. It's like sailing through a painting, and trust me, you'll want to keep your camera handy. Along the way, why not hop off and explore some of the charming towns and villages that line the banks of the Rhine? Sample some local wines, try your hand at bartering for souvenirs at a traditional market, or simply soak up the atmosphere in a riverside cafe. It's the perfect way to experience the slower pace of life that Germany does so well. From the fairy tale beauty of Neuschwanstein, we travel to a place that stands as a stark reminder of Germany's divided past, the Berlin Wall Memorial. Now, this isn't just any wall, darling. For nearly 3 decades, it stood as a symbol of oppression, division, and the Cold War. Walking along the preserved sections of the wall, you can't help but feel a sense of awe at the sheer scale of it all. The watchtowers, the barbed wire, the stories of those who risked their lives to escape. It's a powerful and moving experience. But the Berlin Wall Memorial is more than just a reminder of the past. It's also a symbol of hope, of reunification, and the triumph of the human spirit. It's a place to reflect on the past, to learn from it, and to celebrate the freedoms we often take for granted. And who knows, you might even find yourself humming a little David Hasselhoff. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Graham, darling, Oktoberfest isn't during the Euros. And you're right, it's not. But listen, no trip to Germany is complete without at least mentioning the world's most famous beer festival, right? Imagine this. You're in Munich in a giant beer tent surrounded by thousands of people from all over the world, all singing along to traditional Bavarian music and raising their giant steins of beer in a toast. The atmosphere is electric, the beer is flowing, and everyone's in a good mood. What's not to love? Even if you're not a big beer drinker, and honestly, who are you? There's something for everyone at Oktoberfest. From traditional Bavarian food to fairground rides to live music, it's a full-on sensory overload. Just remember to pace yourself. Those giant pretzels are more filling than they look. From the beer halls of Munich, we travel to the city of Cologne, home to one of the most impressive Gothic cathedrals in the world, the Cologne Cathedral. Now, I'm not a religious person myself, but even I have to admit, this place is pretty darn impressive. Just imagine, you step out of the bustling city center and there it is, towering over everything. A masterpiece of soaring arches, intricate stained glass, and enough spires and pinnacles to make a saint dizzy. Construction began way back in the 13th century, and believe it or not, it wasn't actually finished until the 19th century. Talk about dedication. Inside, it's even more breathtaking. The stained glass windows cast a kaleidoscope of colors. The air is thick with the scent of incense, and you can almost feel the weight of history pressing down on you. Whether you're religious or not, you can't help but be moved by the sheer beauty and grandeur of this place. Just don't forget to look up. Let's face it, all that sightseeing and football can be exhausting, right? So for our next stop, we're heading back to Munich, but this time we're swapping the beer tents for something a little more, shall we say, serene. Enter the English Garden, Munich's green lung, and the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. Now don't let the name fool you, darling. This isn't your average park with a few benches and a pigeon or two. The English Garden is massive, covering over 900 acres with winding paths, hidden lakes, and even a Chinese pagoda. You could easily spend a whole day here and still not see everything. Pack a picnic, rent a paddle boat, or simply find a shady spot under a tree and watch the world go by. It's the perfect place to relax, recharge, and maybe even sneak in a little nap after all that beer and sausage. Let's be honest, no trip to Germany is complete without indulging in some of the local cuisine. And trust me, darling, it's not all beer and sausages. Well, okay, it's mostly beer and sausages, but it's the best beer and sausages you'll ever have. Let's start with the classics, shall we? Bratwurst, those juicy grilled sausages, are a must-try, ideally served with a dollop of mustard and a side of sauerkraut. And of course, no trip to Germany is complete without a giant pretzel, preferably the size of your head. But there's more to German food than just meat and carbs. Be sure to try some schnitzel, a thin, crispy cutlet of veal or pork, or maybe some Malteschen, a kind of German ravioli. And for dessert? Well, it has to be Black Forest Gâteau, doesn't it? Just be sure to save room. So there you have it, my top 10 things to do during Euro 2024 in Germany. From the historic Brandenburg Gate to the fairy tale castle of Neuschwanstein, from the bustling beer halls of Oktoberfest to the tranquil beauty of the English Garden, Germany has something to offer everyone. And remember, if you're planning your own German adventure, don't forget to check out Travel Partner Official for all your travel needs. They've got everything from flights and accommodation to tours and activities, all at the best prices. And while you're at it, why not give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more travel tips and inspiration. We've got loads more exciting content coming your way. Until next time, Auf Wiedersehen. And don't forget to subscribe. Did I mention you should subscribe?